Cassidy. I'm here to make friends.
Here we go again. This is the one that everyone has been waiting for, and the one that everyone has got such a fucking hard on for, mate. Absolute carnage. Here we go. So, let's start with the parts. The parts I used, the details, all that sort of good stuff. So the head straight off the bat was custom made from a Venom. Easy days, mate. Easy days with that Venom. And then I modified it, and you can see all that work in progress on part 1, and you can also see it on Instagram. Then we've got all the details, the paint apps, everything, mate. We went through it all. This was one hell of a project, trying to get this bad boy to work. Now you're going to see the detail section and the articulation section just kind of crammed in. I'm just trying to get this video out, otherwise it's never going to happen. So you can see how the articulation works. Like I said prior in the previous video, I'm not going to go into it too much because we've already done all this, but watch part 1. It's all black. The whole base body's black. All the joints were prepped, even though they were black anyway. And yeah, you're not going to get any paint rub on this guy, so don't even consider it. We got the details here. I really wanted to go above and beyond with the details, really push my limits. This was a project that I really got stuck into. I really involved myself in it. I absolutely love the absolute carnage.
Pun intended.
Honestly, I was waiting for it. I was waiting for it. There he is. There he is. God damn it, this guy just doesn't leave us alone. So anyways, the details, I really wanted to get stuck into it. I wanted it to look symbiotic, I wanted to have the veins going through the custom, but I also wanted it to look natural, and I wanted it to look close to the comic book. So therefore, when I made the veins, I sanded them right down so it was so close to the body that it looked organic. Organic is symbiotes. They have a certain look, and not many people in the custom world know how to put that into a custom. So that was my main focus. Also, I added all these Carnage and Red Goblin symbiotic goop, similar to this image right here. The painting was probably the hardest part of this custom, trying to get it to look exactly like the comic book. The colors were just, it had to be black, but it also had to be red. So trying to get the red and the black to coexist, plus I added shades of purple, and then I glazed it all, and it's also metallic, so you can see the reflection here and there of little slight purples, little slight pinks, reds, just blues, just gorgeous, man. Seriously, this thing in person is just So then I added all this cream, and I wasn't sure what to do with it, so I hit it with a red, a Tamiya red, and I kept hitting it with the red. And then I added the cream over the top of a glazed version of this with a black glaze. It's hard to describe. I glazed this maybe 3 or 4 times with different colors. And I talked about glazing in my painting video, so go check that out. And you can see really on the back here where the light from the back of the window of my bedroom is hitting this. And you can see that it's reflecting on, it's almost chameleon. Have you ever seen those chameleon paints?
Green Stuff World, sponsor me. Sponsor me, goddammit.
It looks very similar to that, which was basically the effect I was going through. It came out way better than I expected. You got the back of this, which is completely sculpted, the spine all the way up, which is exactly how I wanted it to turn out. Honestly, dude, I'm really happy with this custom. It turned out exactly how I wanted it to. I went through it and tried to make it as comic book accurate as physically possible in a custom action figure, which I very rarely do. I do a lot of concept stuff, man. I do a lot of commissions where people just want certain things and I don't really get much choice in it. So having to do this was really fun. You can see the articulation. I made this from a warlock bath. You remember that crap warlock? Yeah, that piece of shit. We got that, and I was like, well, I don't need this. This doesn't tie in with any of my X-Men stuff. I don't care about the New Mutants. So boff. I cut it to pieces, and I used the articulation of the upper torso, the lower legs, the waist, most of the thighs, and then there was a lot of Bucky Cap kind of just launched in there, and yeah, I just kind of built it all up, and you can see the knees were sculpted from scratch. They kept giving me hassle, and they kept changing in the book, and eventually I got around to doing it properly. The feet, they took forever. Then I found this new image, and then I ended up putting that on, and it's just a big mess. Big mess at first. This was just constant rework. The feet constantly chopped, cut, shorten this guy down. He was like originally 14 inches, something like that, and I reworked it, and you'll see in a minute, but yeah, I got him to a respectable size. He's supposed to be huge though, He really is supposed to be massive, and he's super fun to pose around, dude, because of all the articulation. And that's the thing, for a big dude, like, he articulates like a boss. You obviously have watched part 1, right? Part 1 with the articulation segment. It's exactly the same, bro. All that's happened is nothing. It's exactly the same. Exactly the same. At first I thought, oh, I have to remove the waist swivel. But I didn't. I kept it. I kept everything in there. And he articulates like an absolute boss. And he probably has the most articulation in most figures right now. Then I showed him up on Instagram a while ago and everyone messaged me.
Oh, but how are you gonna gain a stand?
And I was like, easy, bro. I've modified it. I've changed it. It's effortless to a certain extent. I changed the feet so when he presses down, it looks like his goop is flaring. You can see that before I could get him to stand with just stubs in part 1. You've seen part 1, yeah? Part 1? Yeah. Stubs. Now he actually has feet with toes and nails. And it's easy now. Easy days. Easy days. The thing is, I took all of that into consideration when I was making it. The top half was bound to be heavy, right? Because of that spine. That spine had to support all the weight, even though the legs... So the problem I had straight away was the hind legs. The hind legs gave me the most problem trying to get that to stand because the ankles kept getting weak. I ended up getting super glue accelerator and that fixed all that up. So now it's more of like a ratchet joint in those ankles, so they work really well. And then I made it so the hands can come on and off. And the head articulation also comes on and off. So I can switch it out if something happens later on down the line, you never know. Also, these funnels on his back, I'm probably going to end up having to put wings in. I'm waiting for it, guys, I'm calling it. Wings. Grendel symbiote, wings, Carnage, yeah? It's bound to happen. It's bound to happen. Come on, come on. And also I wanted to add like swords and axes later on down the line. But that's a future project. I'll update you guys, maybe, we'll see. But as you can see, I completely unedited all of that. I let you guys see firsthand that it can stand on its own very, very easily. I wanted it unedited so that you could see it clearly. I aren't mucking around, this is genuinely what it's like in person. Hopefully you guys are watching it in 4K, that way you can even see the paint details and the details of the actual sculpt in person. Because 4K basically gives you that realism. And if you're watching this on your phone, it probably looks like a bag of dicks. So just bear that in mind, because I've watched shit on my phone, and it doesn't look anything like it's supposed to, even if it says it's 4K, it's a bag of dicks. So what you want to do is hashtag bag of dicks. The point is, watch it in 4K. Watch this shit in 4K on your flat screen LCD screen, so that you can see everything, so I know that you know that I'm not mucking about, you know what I'm saying?
I am Cletus Cassidy.
And I'm here to make friends.
Give me that codex, bitch.
Our Lord and Savior, worship His greatness.
Oh, I can't wait for you to stop doing that. So here we go, he's standing at
10.6 inches, 26.9 centimeters.
and I made that so on purpose because he just was way too tall, and now I think he's a respectable Marvel Legends scale. So let's do some size comparisons. Here he is next to Miles Morales, which is the smallest base body that I actually own. Here he is next to Pizza Spider-Man, which looks fairly reasonable. Here he is next to Sabretooth, which is the Hyperion mold. Omega Red, which is a large mold. We're getting larger now. This is my custom Venom mold, which utilizes the McGargan Venom. Here he is next to Colossus. Here he is next to Caliban.
Damn, Absolute Carnage is huge.
Sure is, buddy. Here he is next to the Hulk. Here he is next to Wendigo, Goro, Storm Collectibles Ninja, Smoke, and Symbiote Spider-Man. So guys, at the end of the day, this was an awesome project. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you really like my Absolute Carnage. It was an enjoyable experience, also extremely stressful. But anyways, I'm going to catch you on the next one.
There won't be a next one because I'm quitting YouTube. Ah!
Link in the description below.
Subscribe. Ah!
Why are you still here? Is it because I quit YouTube?
Just kidding.